Time for tonight's reality check. With all the media hand-wringing about Russian meddling in the American politics, you'd think the prospect of non-citizens literally voting in our elections would be a greater concern. That's foreign meddling if there ever was any. But as you know, it's not. And instead, the same press claims that illegal voting never, ever happens, and you're an idiot and a bad person if you think otherwise. Now, a new study shows that's a lie, like so many they tell. The Public Interest Legal Foundation says that more than 5,000 people in the state of Virginia alone successfully registered to vote despite being foreign citizens and therefore banned from voting. J. Christian Adams is the president and general counsel of the Public Interest Legal Foundation, for whom we are grateful, and he joins us tonight. So I know this isn't true because it's never happened in American history, right?
Yeah, voter fraud's a myth, Tucker.
Yeah.
Didn't you hear that?
I have heard that, yeah.
This is the real foreign influence in American elections. The system is breaking down where foreigners are getting on American voter rolls and, as we documented, casting ballots by the thousands. And remember, these 5,000 plus aliens that we found on the rolls were only caught by accident. They were caught because they sort of self-reported themselves. So that means there's a lot more out there.
How do they self-report themselves?
Well, when they originally registered to vote, they said they were a citizen. When they renewed their driver's license under motor voter, they told the truth a second time. But plenty aren't telling the truth the second time. They're just staying on the voter rolls without being caught.
So the most basic charge of any government is to preserve the sanctity of its election. So I'm sure the government of the state of Virginia must have just stopped this immediately, right?
Yeah, we had to file 3 separate federal lawsuits at the Public Interest Legal Foundation to even get the data. Governor McAuliffe, his election lackey, Edgardo Cortez, they did everything they could to stonewall us from getting the facts. We eventually got the facts, and we found that people were actually marking, no, I'm not a citizen, and still getting registered to vote in Virginia.
Now, what would their motive be for hiding that information from the public?
Well, it shows how bad the problem is in Virginia, which, of course, is a swing state. And when you have elections in Virginia, some statewide races being decided by a couple hundred votes, and yet you have tens of thousands of aliens potentially on the rolls. 7,000 votes were cast by just these 5,000 people we caught. That makes a difference when it comes to American elections.
Well, for sure. And the assumption is these people are voting Democrat by and large.
We don't know that, but we know that the system...
Clearly McAuliffe's assumption, or he would crack down on it.
And he vetoed several bills this year that would have fixed it. He vetoed citizenship verification. He doesn't even want election officials to have access to the people who get out of jury duty by saying, I'm not an American citizen. He vetoed a bill that would have used that tool to keep the voter rolls clean.
So they're actively trying to allow illegals to vote.
Yeah, they would have turned this information over to us without having to go to federal court 3 times. They would have given us this information to show us the extent of the problem, but they're hiding the ball.
So last year, the majority of driver's licenses issued in the state of California went to illegal aliens because that's the law there. I mean, what's the potential for voter fraud in a state where people here illegally get driver's licenses?
California is an example where alien voting makes a huge difference, and the system is so corrupt in California that I'm afraid it might be almost beyond hope, because alien voting matters in lots of places. Florida, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Texas. These are places where it makes a difference, so you're not enforcing your voter rolls.
Can the Justice Department jump on this, and why wouldn't they?
Well, the Justice Department under President Obama has been on the other side.
Of course.
They've actually been opposing citizenship verification laws in Kansas, Georgia, and Alabama. We've had to take them to federal court right here in D.C. to try to get those state laws agreed to and allowed to take place.
Because those laws would suppress non-citizen voting.
Yeah, that's what they like to say. It suppresses votes of illegal voters.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's horrifying. Elected officials would behave that way. It's actually kind of shocking, I think. J. Christian Adams, thank you for that.
Thanks, Tucker.